Having a nice clean chain is not just good for efficiency, but also prolong the lifespan of our chain and the drivetrain for that matter, which in turn is obviously going to save ourselves a little bit of money. So today, I'm going to be running us through a couple of quick methods to get your chain looking and performing like new. Okay, so first things first, to actually clean this chain, we need to break down the dirt and grime on that chain. So we're going to need something that's going to be able to do that. Now, soapy hot water will do that to some degree, but I'll be honest, it barely scratches the surface because oil and grease is relatively water resistant. So we're going to need something a little bit more powerful. Now, you may find something like white spirit knocking around your home does it pretty well, but it's pretty nasty stuff. And I'd rather not use this too much, both for my sake and the environment's sake. So instead, I would fully recommend getting yourself a proper degreaser like this one, which conveniently is environmentally friendly. Now, if you are using a degreaser, you may like to wear some gloves, although it's not essential for all degreasers. And also, I would fully recommend doing any of this cleaning and using of these degreasers outdoors, so you're not inhaling any nasty fumes. Or if you have a liquid-based degreaser, you can pour this into a little pot, as I am, and then use a brush to essentially paint the grease onto the chain. Give the chain a little back pedal whilst you apply it, and then leave it for a couple of minutes to work its magic. Right, so you can actually already see the chain is starting to look a little bit cleaner, but if we actually just run a rag along it and spin it backwards now, you could almost be mistaken for thinking the chain is good to go. But actually, if we look now between the links here, you can still see that they're packed with dirt and grime. Okay, I am a little bit of a perfectionist, but it is this little bit of dirt and grime between the chain that we really want to make sure that we get rid of to improve the efficiency of the chain and to prolong that lifespan of the drivetrain. So for this, we actually need another brush to get in between those links and to drive that dirt and grime out. Or you could use a little toothbrush contraption that I've rolled out on the channel before. So this is just two old toothbrushes that I've taped together a little bit of electrical tape, brush to brush, and then we can simply just place that around the chain and then spin backwards. Alternatively, if my toothbrushes haven't impressed you enough, then you could get a dedicated tool for the job that are actually really quite good. Now, you could get yourself a chain bath like this one from Park Tool. These are really effective. Get the chain super clean, super quickly, all whilst containing the mess nice and conveniently within inside the chambers. All you need to do with these is take the top off the chain bath, then slot the chain within the run, and then pop the top back on, clip it all up, and then fill the chamber with degreaser. And then all you need to do is spin the pedals backwards to run the chain through the brushes within the chamber. So again, the chain looks very clean here, but we're not quite finished there because the brushes and degreaser have done a great job of breaking that dirt and grime down, but some of that is still going to be sat on that chain or within the link. So it's really important now that we get that out. So I'd suggest emptying that chain bath out, cleaning it out a little bit, and then filling it back up with some soapy water and repeating that process through again. Well, that is looking pretty clean if you ask me. All there is to do now is use a dry, clean rag to dry that chain down, and then we want to re-lubricate it. Now, I'm actually using a dry lubricant today, and if you are using something similar to this, so a liquid-based lubricant, just make sure that you drip it onto each chain link, and then rather than just instantly wiping off the excess lubricant, actually leave it to settle for a couple of minutes so it really seeps into each link, and then use your rag to wipe off that excess lubricant. Okay, I may actually backtrack ever so slightly here and add one extra phase in before we do that final wash, dry and re-lubrication, because as we do have all these tools out, we may as well clean the rest of the drivetrain whilst we're at it. And it's also just good practice because with this nice clean chain, it's only just going to pick up that dirt off the rest of the drivetrain once we start pedaling. So we want to make sure the cassette and jockey wheels are nice and clean. So just apply some degreaser to them and let it do its work. Then using some brushes like we had before, start working on those areas. And again, just spinning those pedals back to help. Then wash down with soapy water and follow those steps from before on drying and lubing the chain. Well, obviously getting your chain looking like new is going to improve the performance of your bike and also the lifespan of the components on your bike. But do not neglect the rest of your bike. That is also going to need a clean from time to time, as does mine right now. Now, please do hit that thumbs up button if you liked today's video. And if you would like to see any more videos at GTN, you can click on the globe, subscribe to the channel, and be notified when each one comes out. If you'd like to see our 5-minute bike wash video, you can click down here. And if you'd like to see our 5 bike maintenance mistakes video, you can click just up here.